What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, guys. I'm going to give you guys a very simple and effective tool, a little strategy on how and when to close your trades. I use this strategy to close partials on all my trades, and I find it very effective. So I'm going to come do a video for you guys. So make sure you stay tuned for the entire video and grasp this strategy because it's super simple and I think it'll help out a lot of you. The reason I had the idea to do this video is because so many traders, once again, when they're first starting to kind of become profitable, they're getting into their trades, they're getting a profit, but then having no idea what to do once they're in profit. So this is a very simple and effective tool to use on your trading view to have an idea when a good time to close your trade is. Let's get right into it. But once again, guys, you can use this to close partials or close your entire trade. I myself use it to close partials, and let's go over why. So this is a trade on GU that we're just going to go over. We're going to go over a bunch of examples, but right now you can see we're in this downtrend. We had this break of structure right here, correct? What happened after we got the retracement back up to our break of structure? Had a reaction off of our supply. So once again, that's always what we look for. If you're new to the channel, look for a supply to be created that led to a break of structure and wait for a reaction in that area. So as you can see, we had one right up in this area. So the next thing you want to do is take out the 5-minute low, correct? Put our stops in a good place right above here, give yourself a couple pips and target that 1-to-1. So now let's get into the strategy, guys. First, let's go over to my indicators, and this is the strategy. First off, I'm going to take off my SMAs to make it a little less confusing. And then what you're going to turn on is your 5 EMA, guys. 5 EMA, that is the strategy. Before you leave, watch real quick on what the 5 EMA does and why I think it's so effective. As you can see from this example, guys, you come in here, you get your entry and price starts dumping. This right here is already hitting a 1-to-1, but a lot of you guys are just hopping out of trades with no reason to get out. I thought this was a good example because of the momentum pushing price down where there was no reason and no indications to get out of this trade. So let's go over what would have happened if you used this strategy and waited for the close back above the 5 EMA. You would have been a part of this move right here and then been in profit, and then right here, as you can see, right here, is the first place that price came and closed back above the 5 EMA after this push. So what is that? Let's just drag. That is a 1 to like, oh, it's basically 1 to 2. We basically got a 1 to 2 instead of, once again, closing partials at a 1-to-1 just because you hit your 1-to-1, whatever. You got to hold all the way to a 1 to 2 just because you're using a strategy and having a system behind when you're closing your trade. I personally hate when you get in a trade like this, it goes, what is this? A 1 to 3.5. And then, it goes all the way back to your break even and you have no idea when to close your partials. I bet you a lot of you who are in this trade were probably, closing partials up in this area when it was close to break even because you're like, oh, I want to close partials, blah, 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 blah. No. Use this strategy and it's way more effective, I promise you. And this is also a good example because this actually did come all the way back to break even. So if you would have used this strategy, and once again, even if you didn't want to close your full trade, just closing partials above the 5 EMA in this area puts money into your account and lets you actually secure profits before the whole trade going all the way back to your break even and you making $0. So once again, guys, go put the 5 EMA on your chart right now. Go look at your past trades and where you kind of closed and look at what would have happened if you would have just put your 5 EMA on and waited for a close back in the opposite direction. Because this works for buys and sells, guys. This is just a sell scenario. So obviously you waited for the close back above, but if you're looking for buys, you're going to look for a close back below the 5 EMA to then close partials. So this is just one example, guys. So let's just go over a couple more. Let's just go over GU or GJ or something. I literally just have all these past trades marked up and stuff just because they're good examples of, using the 5 EMA. So let's just turn the SMAs off again. SMAs off and 5 EMA on. It's a tool, guys. It's so simple. But right here, perfect. Another thing, we're bearish right here, had the minor pullback, created a double top, led to a break of structure here, and then we came right back up into this supply, also breaking above here, taking that liquidity, tapping right in, and then forming an entry. What happened right after we got that entry? Take out the 5-minute low, stops above, boom. You see price, here's the 5 EMA. You would have closed right here, basically. Right here, you could have closed a little bit more below once you saw the momentum coming back above and been like, all right, well, it's going to close above. But as you can see, it came up, closed right here. So you got to close at a 1.5 instead of, once again, just targeting your 1-to-1s, all that type of stuff. But there's just so many examples. If we just keep going through, it's just once again, I just want you to back test it to kind of see. But even for trades like this, once again, liquidity taken here, formed a demand, led to the break of structure, and what ended up happening when we tap back into this demand, had a reaction, formed an entry, take the entry right above here, stops below, and you would not have had to close this trade. Oh, I guess it kind of closed below here. So this one isn't as good of an example, but it kept running. 1.5, but still, that's still 1.5. But I wanted to kind of show this one because it kind of just kept going up all the way back up to these highs with no really real pullback. This to me is just to break and retest and then continue. If I go up here, guys, the whole reason kind of behind this strategy and why I like it is, let's say you're in a, bullish trend, or let's just say you took this trade. Let's say like you took a breakout and that this was the breakout that you took it above. Let's say you're pushing up, you're in profit, not knowing, you know, when to close your partials like this. Basically, the EMA is coming up under price like this. Boom, like this, right? And all that's happening is price is getting a minor pullback just because obviously that's what the, you know, charts have to do, but it's just pulling back to the like the EMA to then just continue in that direction. So I want to point this out because a lot of you guys, once again, are getting out on this little pullback. If prices, you know, once again, you have the entry down here, you're in profit just because it's retracing a little bit. Once again, just wait. It could just be a lower high to then, or a higher low to then just go and then break and make a higher high. You always got to make sure that you're looking at overall market structure. And is it just a pullback, or is it potentially going to take you out and, you know, make you lose that trade? Or just, once again, break-even trades aren't a losing trade, but just get you out of that trade with $0 won. So I just wanted to show that example because, once again, you can really use the EMA and SMAs. That's why I use SMAs as like break and retest, because once again, it just follows price up. The 5 EMA rides price so tight that it's really easy to determine when you might get a little minor pullback. So let's just keep going back and maybe trying to find another example right down here. These are all just past trades, guys, once again. So the 5 EMA is on here. Demand created led to the break of structure, tap right back in, boom, entry, flying. This one, you wouldn't have gotten the full 1-to-1, but this is a good example of a 1-to-1 trade that came back to break even and you actually getting to close partials early. Why? Because of the EMA, guys. So simple. But look at push, retest of the EMA, higher high, and then right when you got that push back down, right when it was closing below here, you could have anticipated, all right, we're closing back the EMA. We're most likely going to come back to entry before coming back up. Why? Just look left, guys. Look at the clean candles. If it pushed up and it's coming back, you know, below this little mini support, it's most likely going to fill these clean candles. It's always important to look left. If you guys have never heard that, then I don't know who you're learning from, but always just look left. When in doubt, look left, look at the clean structure. And this kind of is just another confluence with like looking left. Once again, if price is like you're in sells and it's heading down to a little support, if that support is holding and then it goes and closes back above the EMA, then it's most likely going to continue back in the other direction. So you shouldn't even be in that trade. So it just goes back to, this is just a tool. It's just a strategy for you to use, guys. In my opinion, it's really smart and good to have like a system. If you have a system with your trading, then you actually can have data and sample size what works and what doesn't. So to me, this is something that I've back tested and done multiple times over and over again and shown that you can actually get more profits using this strategy than just closing partials and, you know, doing whatever you think into your head. This is a literal strategy and a tool and like a robotic kind of system that you can do with every trade that, you know, once again, start like open up a spreadsheet, go through back test and go through your P&L with all the trades you take on what it would be like if you close with the 5 EMA or if you would have just closed at TP, like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just back test it, make a spreadsheet and actually go and look. I don't have to do it. I've literally done it and I'm just giving you guys the free sauce. It's just so simple. Get in a trade, throw your 5 EMA on there. If price comes back up, closes back above your 5 EMA, it might come back into your entry, close some partials, maybe look for a re-entry, whatever it is. This is just a really good little system and trick on how and when to close partials or your trade. Once again, you can do it for either. You can close partials, or if, you know, if you're a super scalper and you're getting for just that impulsive move, it's really easy to like identify, because the 5 EMA rides price so quick that if it closes back above, just get out, cut partials, whatever it is, just get out of the trade. I hope this was an effective strategy. Let me know in the comments if you use this, if you guys actually went to a spreadsheet and back tested if this would work with your strategy. I love you all. Thank you all for your support. It means the world to me. Make sure to like and subscribe. It helps out a ton. I love you all. No Limit Gang. You guys are all the best. See you on the next one. Peace.
Ay, okay, let it be known, I'm working hard when I ain't on the phone. This ain't a home, this ain't a phone. Grind never stopping, I'm keeping it cold. Unlocking the door with the holy key. You supposed to be this close to me, and hopefully you don't understand G.O.D. Make me this cold and I'm talking like no degrees. This ain't a fluke, I seen it way before it ever happened. He gave me the view, I had to put in my time on the TV, it coming in soon. I couldn't leave it all up to a variant or an experience. You gotta give